This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to a very important day in rock and roll English history. That's because many people have been asking me to do lessons, so that's what I've decided to do. Not just any lessons though. Oh no, IELTS lessons, baby. Oh yeah, so if you're thinking of doing the exam, then this podcast is for you. And even if you're not thinking about doing the exam, I would say start thinking about it, as it's a great target, a great way to improve your English. So yes, as I said, I'm going to start doing some IELTS lessons online, obviously, because listeners live all around the world. Unfortunately, I can't travel to all of these different countries. I would like to though, but I can't. So anyway, in this podcast, I'm going to tell you how it works and stuff like this. But the most important thing I want you to know is if you do decide to do this course and become my student, let me tell you, I will do everything I can to help you. Okay? I take it very seriously. These exams, especially the IELTS exam, can have a big impact on your life, maybe if you need it for university or something like this. So I take the responsibility very, very seriously, and believe me, I will do everything I can to help you. I'm not going to try and sell this course like some kind of special marketing man. I'm not even going to advertise it. I'm just making this one podcast, as I hope you kind of know me by now. That's the great thing about podcasts. They're very personal. You build relationships with people because you listen by yourself and stuff like this. So I'm just going to tell you how it works, the price, and some other information. And if you want to do it, great. And if not, don't worry. We're still friends, okay? So let's hear about this wonderful course. Well, I'm calling it wonderful already, but let's just hear about this course. It will mainly be concentrated on the writing part of the exam. So for people that don't know, the exam has 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. I will do a lesson on the reading and the listening and give you my best tips to help you with the exam. But the truth is, really, you need to read more and you need to listen more to do well on those parts of the exam. And the speaking, again, I will help you with the speaking. I will give you some advice, but speaking is more of a natural skill that comes to people. Why? Because that's how humans are made, really, isn't it? Look at children. They naturally learn to speak, but they need to be taught to write, and that's the same with us when we're learning a second language. If no one teaches us to write, then we will have a lot more difficulty with doing it in a second language. And if no one teaches you to write in your life, you won't be able to write. There are many people in the world, unfortunately, that cannot write. So, as I said, writing needs to be taught. Who can teach writing? Maybe a teacher. Maybe Martin, he's a teacher, maybe he can teach it. And it also needs to be practiced a lot. Because if you think about it, how often do you write essays in your native language? I would say probably not a lot. I can certainly say I do not write essays in English, my native language. So if you don't do it in your language, it's obviously going to be very difficult in another language. And you also need feedback on your writing, because maybe you write and just think, well, this is fucking amazing, but it might not be. To give you an example, think of a marathon runner. So remember, a marathon runner is someone that runs long distances. They need to be prepared and stay in physical condition. And to do that, they need to run. They also need feedback about the time, the technique, and stuff like this. Maybe they're running in a strange way. And this is the same with you in the writing exam. You need to stay in physical condition, so you need to practice, and you need the feedback. But I also want to concentrate on the writing because, in my opinion, and well, in everyone's opinion, writing is the most difficult part of the exam. So we need to make it easier, and there are ways to do this. Many people don't know that formal writing in English, well, lots of types of writing, I suppose, have a specific format. For example, if it's a legal contract, there's a sort of specific format to follow. Maybe a menu, maybe an invitation. All of these things have a specific format for the way they are written. And Dun, 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 dun. This is the great news. So does the writing part for IELTS. There is a specific format to follow, which I will show you step by step. So, as I said, we will make this part of the exam a lot easier. So, let's look at the more specific details of this course that I'm kind of offering. Well, kind of? No, I am offering. I will do live group lessons on the internet, which obviously you will take part in. And if you can't, then there will be a live video for you to watch, okay? So don't worry. And then any questions you do have, obviously you can ask me. I will do a lesson about the reading, and I will give you a reading test to do. I will do a lesson about the listening and give you a listening test. I will do a lesson about the speaking, and I will also give you an individual speaking test. So you'll have an individual lesson with me for that part, and obviously I'll give you feedback. But then we get to the big part, the big motherfucker, the writing, okay? So there will be 9 different lessons about the writing, okay? And 9 different essays for you to write. Why 9? I hear you ask. That's a strange number. Why not 10? Because 9 is the number of different questions you could be asked in the exam. There are 9 sort of different types of writing questions. But that's not it. Oh no, I'm offering more. I suppose this does sound a bit like a marketing man at the moment. Anyway, after you give me your writing, so your 9 pieces of writing, after each one, I will correct it, send it to you so you can read the comments, stuff like this. Then you will do it again and send it to me again, and then I will correct it again. That might sound crazy, but think about this. If you make a mistake in your writing, what do you need to do? I would say it's a good idea to try and fix the mistake. Learn from our mistakes. You know, that's like a great life lesson and IELTS lesson. And 9 is a big number. Well, essentially there are 18 pieces of writing, I suppose, because you do each one twice. So that's a lot of practice, a lot of feedback, just like the marathon runner that needs all of the feedback and all of the practice. That's what you're doing with all of this writing, okay? You're a marathon runner with a pen in your hand, kind of, I suppose. And it takes time to learn these things. As we said, writing needs to be taught and it needs to be learned. So essentially, that's 12 lessons, 9 or 18 pieces of writing, however you want to call it, and an individual lesson for a speaking test. The cost, I know this is probably the biggest thing that you're interested in, is €99. So that's just over €8 a lesson with all of this writing and stuff like this. And if you're wondering why it's such a low price, because if you look at other IELTS courses and stuff like that, they cost a lot more. The reason is because this is the first time I'm doing an online course. So I want to get some experience. I want to experiment, stuff like this. So there might be a couple of little problems on the course. I don't know what at the moment because I've not done it, but there might be 1 or 2 small things, which if you go to some kind of massive big company, maybe there won't be because they have more experience. But I can guarantee you this, that you will get a reading test, a listening test, a speaking test. You will get 9 pieces of writing corrected, or 18, however you want to look at it. And you will have a minimum of 12 lessons. I say minimum because I might actually do more. Maybe with error correction, stuff like this, I will do some more lessons. And as maybe I'm completely crazy, I've decided to offer a money back guarantee. Oh yeah, baby. So if you do all of the course and you think, fuck, that was shit, I didn't get value for money, I will give you all of your money back. Yes, that is true. That may sound crazy, but I'm actually totally sure that you will get value from the course. So I'm not too worried about it. Maybe you're thinking, oh great, I'll just do the course, and even if it's the best course in the world and I get value for money, I'll just ask for my money back. Then you can do that. You can absolutely 100% do that. I hope you don't, obviously, because it will be a little bit shit for me, but I'm an honest person, and I imagine you are too if you like this podcast. You must be. All rockers and rollers are. But you could do that. You could just do the course and then say, you know, fuck Martin, I want the money back. And that's fine. Absolutely no problem. As the main reason I'm doing this really is not for the money. It's mainly for the experience because I want to do this in the future. But I obviously need some experience. Otherwise, it's a bit shit. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention, quite important, is if you are a full volume member, the cost is only €69, because obviously you know that I love you that little bit more. Anyway, I only want a maximum of 12 people on this course because I'm not sure exactly how to manage one of these courses yet. So I just want a small number. If I had 100 people, for example, that would probably be a complete disaster. So let's just have a recap. There will be a lesson on reading plus a reading test. There will be a lesson on listening plus a listening test. There will be a lesson on speaking plus an individual speaking test with me and feedback. There will be 9 lessons on the writing and 9 essays for you to write 2 times. And the cost is €99. It will also be an intensive course because it needs to finish before the end of September, because that's when I go back to work and then I won't have time. So it will be quite intensive and it will be difficult. I expect a lot from you. I will be working hard and I obviously expect you to do that. And again, if you're worried about the price, just to put some kind of context on that, when I do an individual private IELTS lesson, I ask for €30 a lesson. And here you're getting 12 plus lots of feedback, lots of writing, and lots of good shit, basically. Anyway, I'm putting all of the details on the website. So if you want to read it again because you don't understand what I'm saying or if you think I'm completely crazy, go to rockandrollenglish.com/lessons. I was thinking about rockandrollenglish.com/IELTS, but IELTS is a bit difficult to spell. So rockandrollenglish.com/lessons. And one other very important thing is, before accepting you on the course, I would like to talk to you just for 5 to 10 minutes because I need to make sure you're ready for the test, because if your English is not good enough, it's going to be a waste of your time and my time, and I don't want that. I'm sure you don't want that. So just to avoid that, we will just have a quick chat. So send me an email. Send an email to martin@rockandrollenglish.com. Then we'll arrange the chat, see if you're ready for the exam, and then do the course, I suppose. That email address is written on the website as well. So go there if you're interested, obviously. If you're not, don't worry about it. Just don't listen to this episode and then just listen to Monday ones like normal. Everything's the same. I do hope to hear from you though. I will be checking my email probably every 5 minutes for the next couple of days. But in the meantime, people, just keep on rocking.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.